Hello, this is our R&D laboratory with the departments as we discussed earlier. The product idea that we've decided to opt for is e-mobility solutions, which basically provides solutions for electric cars. So let us see how actually this product flows through various players, and as it flows, let us also have a look at the indicators which we use at each of the departments. So basically, we have four sources from where we have the idea flow through the screening committee, and this idea of e-mobility solutions, we have assumed that it is from a client like Toyota or some other OEM, which mainly features on providing electric vehicles. So let us see how this product idea flows through the whole organization. I work with R&D with of different companies. I collaborate with all the R&Ds of big automotive manufacturers, and yeah, now I have an idea from Toyota on e-mobility solution. Yeah, e-mobility, good, pretty interesting. So yeah, I give a nod and send it to the screening committee. Now, yeah. E-mobility, nice idea from Toyota. So, yeah, sounds good. So I give it a nod and send it to the technical advisory board. Ah, technical advisory board. Yeah, okay. So, e-mobility solutions, pretty good. Now, I need to keep in mind a few requirements before I give a nod to this idea and send it any further. First, I see if my company has the required infrastructure, or if I need to provide any further, keeping in mind the target requirements and the budget requirements of my company. I'd say nice idea, worth investing pretty much on it, will prove pretty fruitful. And also, I keep in mind a few indicators while assessing the e-mobility solutions idea. Firstly, I look at the novelty of innovation. Yeah, it's a nice indicator which shows me whether if it's a new novel idea, if it's just a local novel idea, or it's novel throughout the world. I think this is a novel idea throughout the world. Nice requirement. Then now I look at the technological aspects of the process and the product or innovation. Yeah, that too is pretty impressive. Yeah, so kudos. I send it to the screening committee again. Yeah, so this gets a nod from the technical advisory board. Now, yeah, nice. So now I send it to the patent management, and check for patent citation, and if the idea is already existing, or if not, then yeah, we can definitely make a patent out of it. So yeah, I send it to patent management. Yeah, another idea yet again. So many ideas to look through every day. Okay, so now I look at the database, and new idea, pretty impressive, first of its kind. So yeah, it is not there. So yeah, I give a nod ahead and send it to the screening committee. So from now, I send it to the feasibility player who looks at the feasibility. I have to do a lot of tedious work. I'm the sad player here. So now I get in contact with the customer interaction center, with the sales and deployment, and also the sales and revenue assessment of the screening committee. And all of them say it's a pretty good idea. Yeah, definitely infrastructure would have to be developed a lot, but it seems a bright prospect for the future. So yeah, I send it to the project planning and development. Nice. So interesting project for the planning and development of the project department. So this, now I divide it up into time frames, keeping in mind the requirement from Toyota. And then I contact the financial and personal management, tell him all the tasks, and now I'm the money guy. I decide how much money and how much people I need to allocate. So I send out all the money to the supplier, production, the resource management, all the personnel required. Yeah, pretty fast the idea has progressed through the screening committee. Now let's see. Now it comes back to the project planning player, who sends it to the testing lab. Now I received all the project time frames and the idea from the project planning and department. Now I actually start to develop in my lab through these various players, and simultaneously test it through our testing center in collaboration with this player. Hi. Then we do the testing, and also at the same time we interact with the customer to satisfy his requirements. And once the customer is happy, then we are happy, and we send it to testing for the final node. Once the testing is done and everything is okay, works good on our on our cars, then we send it to production. As I told you, this player, the financial and personal management player, sends in all the finances required and the personal required for both supplier, production, all over the organization. Then once the production is done, through warehouse management, this player, I keep in track the number of let's say the towers or the routers required for the infrastructure, and also the place wherein I need to maintain or set up. So I do the warehouse management for the products produced, and then this player sends in the information of the requirements, and the production is done accordingly. And I finally look after the deployment. So once the deployment is done, let's say in an area like Ingolstadt, wherein we provide the infrastructure to get the status from an electric car, as in the battery status or the next immediate recharge. So this is what we do through e-mobility solutions, and a lot more. This is just a glimpse. So this is how the product flows. So and through continuous customer interaction, this player has a lot of work to do. He keeps track of the financial and the revenue data from the customer or after sales and deployment, and I send it to the financial and send it to the sales and revenue assessment player.
Now we are looking into the indicators which help us to know about the performance of our R&D lab. The first being the R&D intensity. It is the ratio of the investment to the company sales.
This is taken by the sales and the revenue assessment player of the screening committee. He keeps in track the sales expenditure from which he gets the information from this player, who coordinates with the sales and revenue assessment.
And the next being the R&D expenditure, which is the total R&D investments which are made by the financial and the personal management of the company onto the R&D lab.
That is between these two players.
And the third being the R&D cost versus the last year budget, which takes care of which again comes back to the financial and the personal management.
And this is assessed again by the sales and the revenue assessment player.
Then the design to the cost accuracy, that is the actual product cost to the estimated cost which is done at the product design.
This is done in tandem with the technical advisory board.
And it also takes place and the other indicators being the sales share of the R&D expenditure.
For the required information for the sales share is provided by the sales and the deployment player, who then again as before works in tandem with the sales and the revenue assessment player, and together they estimate the value.
The next being the design to the cost.
This is again done in tandem with the technical advisory board.
And now we look into the sales of the highly improved or the new products, sales share of highly improved or new products.
All information regarding sales share is taken from the player of sales and deployment working in coordination with the sales and revenue assessment player.
Now we come into the patent and the licensing department, where we look into the patent sale, that is the number of patents for sale to the number of total number of patents.
That is done by the screening committee in tandem with this player from the patent and licensing department.
We also look into the indicator, which is an internal indicator for the patent and the licensing department. That will be the application time, the process of application, the time which is taken by the process from the patent to the patent citation or the legalize the patent. And we also take into some other indicators into account, being the number of rejected patents and the total age of the patents and the time from the idea to the patent. And the cost of the legal services, which is again reported back to the financial and the personal management, because it heads the entire financial resources of the lab. And we also take care into some certain indicators of the resource management, where we see the R&D resources to the total number of resources.
This works between these two departments. These two players coordinate with each other, keeping in mind the main resource allocation and the secondary resource allocation.
And we also look into the hours which are spent on the R&D and the resource management, how many fruitful hours in a day or in a year is being spent on the R&D research. And we also look into certain indicators like the teamwork and the morale, which we cannot actually give the numbers for this kind of indicator. And at the testing department, we track the number of defects as an indicator.
This is again with the testing, which works in coordination with the screening committee.
And we also look into the time of the defect tracking to the design changes. Any changes in the design with the help of the design, at the design stage we have a player, and at the testing center we have a player. So any defects which has been measured, we just measure the time which is taken. Then at the R&D lab, we think about the prototyping of the idea which is being developed, which is again given from the technical advisory board to the design, and the average number of prototypes per new product which is developed, and the time from the time the product is released to the entire product which is developed, the idea released to the product developed, and time from the concept to the application part.
So this is the summary of all the indicators and the various departments where they are applied. So from this indicators, we have selected the 5 most important indicators for our process, and these are the key performance indicators which are discussed in the project report. Thank you very much.